I believe the person who needs to be quarantined is Mr. William Ruto. Maybe be quarantined in a mental facility for him to be examined whether he's in full control of his faculties. This country is on autopilot, that it's any system goes, and that we do not have any guiding policy on how some things must be approached, must be implemented, or must be done. The autopilot mode in which the country finds itself in is being steered by none other but Mr. William Ruto. Mr. Frederick Okango's arguments that, oh, these are requirements of the international law, oh, some of you are lawyers here, you understand it, holds no water whatsoever. It does not even, and of course, even to purport to quote international law in this circumstance, it tells me that someone may not have comprehended the application of the principles in international law and where and how they should apply. There is no international law here being invoked. We are looking at the sovereignty of the people. Sovereignty of the people, the way I understand it, is not the ability of the people to have a president or to govern or to have organs of government that collaborate with each other, the presidency, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. That is not what is defined by sovereignty. I understand it to mean that we should even be secure in terms of health risks that our people are exposed to. So my position was that we speak about food sovereignty. We cannot speak about food sovereignty without speaking about the sovereignty, our sovereignty in terms of health, the ability to man our own health sector, the health policies guiding the same and informing the same. To the extent that our health system has been infiltrated by the Americans, we lose our identity as a people. We lose our identity as a nation. We lose our sovereignty. But the biggest risk is this, that we have a president who is out to please anyone whom he thinks will be of help to him to overcome the 2027 challenges. All this, what he's doing is trying to entice the Americans to side with him when the push comes to shove. Even whatever he's doing, whatever international outreaches he's doing, he's doing it not for the sake of this country, not in the interest of this country, but in pursuit of self-preservation. That is a risk that we have, that the individual at the helm has no interest for this country other than his own interest to survive the political turmoils that he finds himself in. That is why you'll go all the way, even to him inviting this country into being an unnatural ally. It will tell you that he's in pursuit of self-aggrandizement, self-preservation, and survival. And that is a risk, that even the decisions that are being done in this country, they are being done in an egocentric manner. Looking at what do I benefit? For example, how did he come up with the 1.7 billion allocation? Which parliament allocated that money? Which policy assessed it and said that yes, 1.7 billion would be sufficient to establish this quarantine? Who will allocate that money? Did that money come in as a grant? Did it come in as a loan? How will that money be accounted for in our books? Those are some of the issues that we are looking at. And when that money comes in, and money does not find itself in our books, and the institution mandated to allocate that money or to oversee the application of that money are not involved, it withers our sovereignty. Who agreed? Who budgeted for 1.7 billion? How will it be appropriated? Which government department is absorbing this money? And how will that money be reflected by the Auditor General? These are issues that we are looking at in my effort to prove to you that there is much more than meet the eye. As I pen of Dibal, we must invite ourselves in such a situation whereby we must divorce ourselves from political affiliation and look at the fabric of this nation, the survival of the nation, and apply the best interest principle of this country. The argument that Ebola can get in through any other avenue, again, does not hold any water. For now, we have an ascertained, a well-known avenue, approved avenue, that this is the only avenue known to us where Ebola will get in, will sneak in. The argument that can even come from Busia again speaks about the failure of our nation. That our nation is not capable of filtering the individuals coming to our territory. It is, again, speaks about our territorial integrity. That our territory can be infected by any person because you have no mechanisms of screening them. Don't speak about the porous borders, because the porous borders should not be that the avenues that are supposed to infiltrate us and compromise our territorial integrity. To the extent that territorial integrity will be compromised, again, it speaks to the compromise of our sovereignty. I think that's how I look at it, Dibal. It's not something that we just need to speak about and yell here and there. We have to look at it from a very broad, objective perspective. I yield.
Maybe just a point of information, the 1.75 billion is not a budgetary allocation by Kenya. That is a funding that is coming from the US directly, and is part of what they call the Biological Threat Reduction Program. So it's 100% US funding, and it goes directly towards that program. Maybe just for construction, for
clarification.
For clarification, we are only offering.
Yeah, but I think what's also Ndegwa, what he's asking, yes, is it also paying? Is it going to, first of all, through the consolidated fund?
It is not a consolidated fund thing. There's a lot of things the US government is doing with the Kenya and other African countries in terms of direct funding towards programs. They've done it over the years. It's never been a consolidated fund thing. It's not something you budget for, because it's not a loan.
Yeah, I think which is good, because I think anyone is asking the transparency bit of it. I think he was wondering then, how did we arrive to at 1.7 billion shillings? Is not going through the consolidated fund. Then the issue of accountability to this fund is the question that is being raised as well.
I think what I've said, which you're not getting, Dibal, this money is coming directly from the US. The US is executing this program on our soil. We're only providing land. In terms of biosecurity labs, that is theirs. The disease surveillance system is theirs. The outbreak response hubs, those are theirs. And even the training of the various partners, it's directly their cost. I think that clarification is important, yeah.